Nandita ma'am, Shyam Benegal passed away at the age of 90 in Mumbai, and he was reportedly suffering from kidney ailment.
Yes.
He was, of course, close to your family, to you, to your husband Om Puri. Your thoughts, ma'am?
You know, I lost my father in 1978. It's like losing my father all over again. So I'm at somebody's place. There's a celebration going on, but on the way I got the news, and Sham Babu's not been well last 2.5 years. He's on dialysis, and in fact, this morning I called up the office because Ila Arun and myself we were supposed to meet him on Monday coming, and I told him, Sham Babu, we are going to come and meet you. But they said, no, he's not well. And the moment I spoke to Ila, that, he's not well and they've told us indefinitely don't come. So Ila said, I really hope nothing goes wrong. And today, 6:30, he passed on. And it's devastating. It's devastating
But
because,
were you in touch with him or his daughter, Pia?
no, I've been in touch with his closest aide, Atul Tiwari. I just called him. The funeral is tomorrow. To us, Sham Babu was, to my husband, he was his mentor. Not just films. If if my husband learned about good single malls, good food, anything, the finer tastes of life all came from Shyam Benegal. And to us, we called him encyclopedia. Because if we had to go to a country, we'd ask him, he'd tell us where to go, where to eat, what clothes to carry. My son was actually in tears because he said, I've never seen my Nanaji. Sham Babu was like my Dadaji and Nanaji. He advised him because after schooling, he wasn't sure what he was going to take up. And Sham Babu said, do this. And finally, he did. Sham Benegal subject only economics. He studied economics. So it was all his guidance. And after Om passed on in 2017, Sham Benegal was like a guardian angel to our family. He was the founder trustee of the Ompuri Foundation. He guided us along how to, and we've been doing good work thanks mainly to his guidance. And I hope, I mean, Shyam Benegal should have been there for another, 5, 7 years. He was so sharp. He was so, we met him recently, and, I'm actually at a loss for words because this year has been really bad. One lost Ratan Tata. Just a week, barely few days back was Zakir Bhai. That we were all heartbroken. And now here, words really fail me, though to us, he was everything. When my son was small, anything he wanted to ask, he'll say, if Om or me couldn't answer, he'd say, Acha, encyclopedia ko phone karo na. Shyam Babu ko phone karo. So that was Shyam Benegal in our lives.
But what kind of knowledge? Can you talk to us about his knowledge about cinema, about world politics? He was the pioneer of parallel cinema in India.
Absolutely. And I think after Satyajit Ray, he was the last Renaissance man. He was not just a filmmaker, he was a Renaissance man, just like Satyajit Ray was. He was well versed in music. What was the music? What was the background, the arts, everything? He was absolutely, and politics. He's made fabulous films. Apart from his latest one, it's very unfortunate. He made a beautiful film on Sheikh
Mujib.
Mujibur Rahman called Bongo Bondu. And this he did when he was 87, 88. Just, I remember going for the shoot in Film City, and he was there with a 200 unit just in between the two, the gap of the two COVID. And he was not bothered, and everyone had to tell him, put on your mask, put on your mask. At 87, he was that, you know, motivated and that particular. And if you see Mujib, it's as good as the films he's made earlier, whether it was Bose and a fabulous film on Jawaharlal Nehru and,
Discovery of
Satyajit
India,
Ray.
Bharat Ek Khoj.
Bharat Ek Khoj is, my husband always said, that Bharat Ek Khoj, the discovery of India, should be in every school and college syllabus. Even now, when I have to go to a school or college to talk about something, I quickly go on to the episodes. I see, and that's how I learn. Impeccable sense of history, most unbiased, most,
Ma'am,
there's no word. He's the last of the Renaissance man we have, and he's gone.
Ma'am, like you said, Satyajit Ray, I know, had a huge influence on him.
Yes.
What was, according to you, was the secret of his enduring film journey? We don't see many filmmakers in their 80s. In fact, he was in his late 80s when he
He
made
was 87 when he did Mujib, and he
this.
shot it not only in India, it was shot in Bangladesh also. So he was traveling up and down.
What kept
Enduring,
him going, ma'am?
enduring, I think, the discipline, the passion and the discipline. We met him, I think, a month back. He had a kidney ailment for the last 2.5 years. He was on dialysis. So we had to remember TTS because Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, Shyam Benegal was on dialysis. So he never came to office. The man didn't need to, but he came to office on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He was there sharp at 10:45. The discipline, my husband would always say, even when he's not making a film, even when he doesn't have to do anything, he's at his office at 10:30. He takes a lunch break, he goes home, he comes back, and he answers every phone. If you
Right.
call him in
Yeah.
the office,
Yeah.
Shyam Benegal, you
Yes.
know
Yes.
and I remember, I think, last I spoke to him was about 15 days back when I had left a message. And he called back saying, "Yes, Nandita, you'd called." Everyone, he was there. He was no secretary and, all that fancy thing. He took the landline, and that
Yes.
was the
Yes,
touch,
Shyam
the
Benegal
human
was. Yes.
touch and the discipline. My husband always said, "Look at Gulzar Saab, look at Shyam Benegal. They make it a point whether they're working or not. They don't say, oh, we have deadlines, so we'll work. We don't have deadlines, we don't work." It's a discipline. They go to office, and that is the enduring. And the amount he was reading, it's amazing. And his memory, of course, he tended to forget things of late.
But he remembers, I remember talking to him like few months ago, and he was saying you were trying to reach out to me. And I must say, Shyam Benegal was one of the rare filmmakers. Each time we wanted a reaction, we used to call him and he used to say, okay, come to my office.
Yes.
I remember meeting him at IFA, and he actually lost his baggage in the early in the
Yeah.
morning. I remember. But he was very accessible, I have to say, ma'am. But today, how do you see the legacy that he has left behind?
I just hope the biggest legacy, I mean, one of the finest work was Mujibur Rahman. I just hope, the government allows that film to be screened. It's a tribute to the man, enduring, icon of Indian cinema at the age of 87, 88. What a brilliant historical film he made. And his brains were as sharp at 88 as when he made Bharatik Khoj in his 60s. The detailing was so good. And I hope we all get to see not only Mujib, the biggest way to keep his tradition, his legacy, and give him respect is to have Bharatik Khoj as a study in every school and college syllabus. Bharatik Khoj. But what Panditji did in A Discovery of India, Shyam Babu took it several, steps ahead, and he's given a modern where you see what happened, and it's beautiful. And my husband, it was again a discipline. They worked for, I think, over a year shooting 52 episodes, and every morning he had to go. He was a sutradhar, plus he played a lot of characters from, Ashoka, and whole lot of characters. And he learned so much. Sham Benegal was not just a master filmmaker or a master director. He was a human being. He was a good human being. He in fact taught, my husband was a vegetarian. He taught him how to have fish. The first piece of fish he had was with Sham Benegal. And the good things in life, good food, to appreciate good, single malts and stuff like that. My husband started out with Old Monk rum, and he ended up with Lafroig, thanks to Sham Benegal. So, and he was in our lives. My son is as pained as I am. You know,
Well, we also are, as a country, feeling very sad.
we are poor. Today, cinematically, we are poor. India is poor. I hope he's done. His volume of work is huge. And I really hope, and he's worked for every person, whether it was the, in Manthan, whether it's the mandi you see, or whether you see Susman or the weavers, the Amul milk, every department, every part of the country he's touched, everyone's lives he's touched, and the biographical films he's made, and of course Bharate Khoj, that is. But our thing would be if we only preserve this man's, he deserves.
Well, ma'am, thank you so much for talking to
Thank you
me.
so much.
Prayers are
Thank you.
with this family, and thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.